Are you in a position where you feel like you do such amazing work when things are good, but when they're bad, they seem to get really bad, and you just can't seem to turn away from the ugly face of the 3D reality? Well, I've been there before, and I'm about to give you some things in this video that are going to help you say, screw the 3D, it doesn't matter, I'm going to get my desire regardless. So to keep this video tight but impactful, let's just jump straight into it. The first thing that you need to remember at all times is that the 3D reality in front of you is completely malleable and is completely redundant. Now, the reason why it is redundant is because your current 3D reality, what you're experiencing out there, is based upon old thoughts that have impressed the subconscious mind. Your 3D reality is based on what you assume to be true for you, that then feeds that story to your subconscious mind, to which it gets to work pushing it out there for you to experience. Considering it has to get to work pushing it out there, what you experience in this current moment is just old impressions that have made its way through to happen today. So in an essence, what you're dealing with is kind of like dealing with a memory. It's like looking into a memory that is just projected in front of you. Therefore, it's nothing to concern yourself with because it is all old news. And what matters most is what you do with today's thoughts. Because if your previous thoughts became today's reality, that means that today's thoughts will become your future's reality. And given that your subconscious mind goes off of your story and nothing else, it is entirely malleable. It is not sitting there thinking, well, I'm seeing all of these things happen, therefore what you're now claiming to be true via your thoughts cannot happen. It is simply there saying, oh, new story because of the thoughts that you're having today. Let me get to work making that happen. So not only is the 3D in front of you completely redundant because it is like a projected memory, but it is also completely malleable because your subconscious mind only operates in this present moment, and what you feed it in the present moment is what it will begin to take on and push out for you. So if there's anything you take away from this point, just remember that if your old thoughts became today's reality, that means that today's thoughts will become the future's reality. So be careful of what it is that you're persisting in. Even if there is something negative in front of you right now, remember that it doesn't matter because it is old, and what really matters is what's going on up here. Your subconscious mind is not looking out there for evidence as to what to push out. It is only looking at what's in here. Now, the only reason why people experience the same 3D reality day after day after day is because they use what's going on out there to justify or validate or use as a reference point for their thinking, which is then passed on to the subconscious mind. So it's not that it's going from 3D straight to subconscious mind, it's going from 3D to our conscious mind. We reside within it, passes to the subconscious mind. So if you just cut out that beginning part of using the 3D to justify our thoughts and actually begin to create and justify them with your own story, that will then create the outcome that you desire to have, and the 3D will have no power over you whatsoever. I just wanted to jump in really quickly and say that I've just opened up a free Facebook community group where you can interact with like-minded manifestors. If you're looking for a place that is safe where you can open up, get some advice, see posts that I put, interact with me directly, even grab free things that I put on that group, once you've watched this video, go down into the description and you'll find a link to the Facebook group. I highly recommend you check it out. We already have 100 members and it's only been active for like less than a week. So I'd absolutely love to see you there, interact with you and help you even further on your desire. So now we've identified what the 3D reality actually is and why it doesn't matter whatsoever. Let's go on to how we can actually stop it from mattering for good and ensure that you actually get what you want to have, not just whatever the 3D brings you based on where your thoughts have been going up to this point. Now, I touched on this briefly in the last point, and that is when I said that today's thoughts become your future reality. But what should today's thoughts be then? What should you be thinking to create what it is that you desire to have? Well, like I said, your subconscious mind works in the present moment and takes in the story that you desire to be true and pushes it out for you to experience. Manifestation is all about assuming yourself to be the version who has, does, or is whatever it is that you desire to have. So let's say right now that you're working on manifesting a relationship. You've got Alex from the office. He's the most perfect man for you. Maybe even an ex, potentially, maybe a new guy. Doesn't really matter. But Alex from the office, you really, really want him. The 3D reality up to this point has showed you maybe he's not interested. Sometimes he speaks to you, but you just can't tell whether he's interested or not. Well, screw that. The 3D doesn't matter because it's all based on old thoughts. But what do we think to make it so that Alex will fall head over heels in love with you and bring you the relationship you desire? Well, you need to assume that relationship is already in existence. And what this looks like is thinking from the perspective of already having it. If you and Alex from the office were already in this relationship, how would you think about things then? How would you think about the dynamic between you two? What would your thoughts regarding him be? What would your inner conversations regarding him be? If you were to daydream, what kind of daydreams would they be? Overall, what you want to be doing is understanding if you were in this relationship, what would be your persona, for want of a better term? What kind of things would you think? How would you feel? Would you be calm? Would you be relaxed? Would you be excited? Or would you be depressed, sad, and angry? What would actually align with the version of you who has your specific person? And once you've understood that, now you want to go into thinking from that perspective. So anytime you think of Alex from the office or whoever you may have, instead of thinking, oh my God, I just wish they would come to me. Why are they still not answering my messages? Why are they this? Why are they that? Which is all old story, which is what's creating this negative 3D reality. Instead of all that, you'll want to redirect your focus back to these new thoughts. I am so happy that me and Alex have a lovely relationship together. It feels so amazing to check my phone and see that Alex has messaged me. It just makes me feel so loved to know that I'm safe and secure in this relationship. If it's feelings, just for the point of this example, and you know that you would feel calmness and relaxed, when you start to feel a little bit of anxiety about whether or not this is going to work, that old version of you creeping back in, cut that and say, what am I even worried about? Alex and I are in the most perfect relationship, and focus on feeling that calmness. Focus on knowing that it is done. And what this is going to be doing is the more that you persist in this, it's going to create that story for your subconscious mind, to which it will get to work pushing it out for you to experience. It is literally as simple as that. It is as simple as working to assume that you already have your desire by redirecting your thoughts back to as if you had your desire on a consistent basis, and residing within that to assume the feeling that it is done, really. That's all you need to do to manifest. Now, I understand that it's a simple process, but not necessarily the easiest process, especially when the 3D is throwing itself at you with some negative things. But if you can remember that the 3D is old news, and today's thoughts is what's creates your future reality, and you can remember that today's thoughts should be as though you already have this relationship, this job, the house that you want, the money that you want, and whatever it is that you desire to be true, then you have two key fundamentals to creating the outcome that you desire. And if you're struggling with just thinking from the end result, get an understanding of what the thoughts would be, and then turn them into scenes and statements if you prefer a more structured version of affirmations and visualizations. For example, if you think that when you're in this relationship, you would be thinking, this is the most amazing relationship I've ever had, but you struggle to just think like that, turn it into an affirmation. The relationship I have with Alex is the most amazing relationship I've ever had. Or if it's a visualization, visualize yourself on a date and you're telling him, this is the most amazing relationship I've ever had. Or if it's inner conversations, imagine having a conversation with him in which you tell him this is the most amazing relationship you've ever had. Now, all of these things will be so extremely effective because, like I said earlier on in the video, your subconscious mind is not listening to what's out here, it's listening to what's going on in here. And if it's hearing you saying to Alex, this is the most amazing relationship, or if it sees you doing it in that visual scene, or if it hears you making that statement, all of those things are going to aid it in creating the outcome that you desire to have. So live in the end as best as you can, and that will bring you Alex from the office, or whatever it is that you want. I've just wanted to take this brief amount of time to say that I've just added a new tier to the membership, the gold tier. Now, the gold tier is meant to be a way that I can help you more specifically on a one-to-one basis. I understand that for some people, one-to-one coaching may be a little bit too expensive, or you don't necessarily need full-blown coaching, you just need a little bit of advice here and there. So what the gold tier is it gives you personal access to me for a much cheaper price. What you will get on this gold tier is access to the members only live streams, and being that they're members only, I will be answering questions in much more depth. But also you will get one free 10-minute call with me per month for each month that you are a member of this tier for. Which means if you just have a little bit of a question or you just want a brief conversation to go over some things, you can grab a hold of me if you're part of this tier. On top of that, you also get all the other bonuses as well, such as the exclusive videos, routines, free planners, discounts, worksheets, and tons of other stuff. It's honestly an amazing tier, and in my opinion, such amazing value for money, because it will provide you everything that you need to manifest, and it won't break the bank. So once you've watched this video, I highly recommend you go down into the description or the comment section, click on the Linktree link, and then sign up for the gold tier on the membership. I just want to take this time to give a little bit of a demonstration on how I handle the 3D when something less than desired has come up for me. Now, there are tons of examples that I could give, and that would make this video hours long, so I'm only going to give one for the purposes of this. But if you have questions about a specific example that you need help with when it comes to how you should handle it, just pop it down in the comment section and I'll give you a little bit of a way that you could go about it. But the example that I'm about to give is one I hear quite a lot, and that is when you've checked your phone and there hasn't been a message from someone you've been working to either manifest or specifically receive a message from. Now, this is actually extremely common, something that I've dealt with in the past, and it's something I'm sure a lot of you are dealing with. Now, one thing that I want to make aware to you before I get into the demonstration is what you are aware of, you do not have to associate with. That will become more clear when I do the demonstration, but I want you to hold that in mind. Now, I will be using a fake phone because I record with my phone, as you can probably tell from the meh audio, but let's get into it. So let's say, for example, I'm stood in Greggs' queue to go grab a sausage roll, just as an example. Greggs is a shop for anyone that doesn't have one in their country, or a food shop. I check my phone because I'm checking the time. I just want to see how long I need until I got to go get back to the car because of a parking ticket. I check my phone. Oh, it's 1:30 p.m. I got about 10 minutes. Oh, I've noticed there's no message from Deborah. What do I do? Well, like I said, because I've become aware of it, that doesn't mean I have to associate with it. So what I personally will do, and it will take some practice, is I'll say, oh, it's cool, she'll message me in a bit, she's probably just busy. And that's that. Or, I ain't got to worry about it, I know she'll message me tonight, it's all good. And that's that. By simply being relaxed and just playing it off like, ah, it's all good, she'll message me later, that is doing two things. A, you are not recreating negative by associating with it, and B, you are actually probably aiding yourself in creating the positive because you are saying she'll message you later. So what's the difference here to what a lot of people do? Well, a lot of people will associate with that lack of message. They'll notice it, they'll notice Deborah hasn't messaged them, and then they'll go into, oh my God, still no text. Oh my God, manifestation still doesn't work. This is now 3 months of no contact. This is this, this is this, this is this. And then what that does is it puts themselves into a state of anxiety and panic, fight or flight, and then that fight or flight is very difficult to get out of, and then they go into a negative spiral, and it's just a constant downward hill. So what started off as a harmless event of checking the time has now led to you thinking, oh my God, they hate me, they don't love me, and they XYZ thing, which is going to be providing your subconscious mind the wrong story. Just because you have become aware that you don't have that text doesn't mean you have to associate with that lack of text and create all these number of reasons why you should go down this negative spiral. If you check your phone and there's no text, who cares? Just say to yourself, it's cool, they'll message me later, and just put the phone away. Like I said, it's going to take some practice. You're not going to be that relaxed about it straight away, but practice makes consistent, and consistency creates results. So if you want the outcome that you desire to have with anything in the 3D reality that is showing its ugly face, you need to have that same level of nonchalantness and just go with it. Oh, no message? That's cool, they'll message me later, they're just busy. That statement doesn't say they don't love me, which is why they haven't messaged me. That statement doesn't say manifestation doesn't work, which is why they haven't messaged me. That statement doesn't say I should just give up because they haven't messaged me. That statement is saying they're just a bit busy, they'll message me later. It is perfectly normal for people to be busy and to not message you. So if you're using that as like a justification for why you haven't received a text, congratulations, you are now just going about your day the way that normal people go about their day when they check their phone and their partner hasn't messaged them. Just because we know how to manifest and create this life doesn't mean we all of a sudden have to overthink every single thing. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, by all means drop me a like and a comment to let me know. If you are in need of one-to-one help to create your desire, you want to move past the things that are stopping you and ensure that you're doing the right things so that you can actually get the person that you want, the job that you want, and whatever it is that you may desire, down below in the comment section and the description is the link to my Linktree, where you can find the links to my website, where I offer tons of amazing services to help you out. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.